Support for Homegrown is provided by Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning, proudly serving Eastern North Carolina since 1967.
They grew up on our fields, on our courts, in our towns. And now they've taken that hometown pride to the college stage. This is Homegrown. Real athletes, real stories, big dreams.
Welcome to Homegrown, real athletes, real stories, and big dreams. I'm your host, Steve Goodson, and this is the show where we reconnect with your hometown athletes who carry the spirit of their community wherever they go. Today's guest represents excellence in every sense of the word, in the classroom, on the field, and now in service. MacKenzie Morrow is a Jacksonville High School graduate, a state champion, former area player of the year, and now a Division I soccer player at the U.S. Naval Academy, balancing elite athletics, rigorous academics, and the responsibility of future military service. This is MacKenzie Morrow's homegrown story. MacKenzie, thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. So let's start where we always start, at the beginning. What was it like growing up in Jacksonville and Onslow County, and how did soccer first become such a big part of your life?
So both my parents, they are from here. They're like locals. My grandpa, he was military. That's why my mom's here, stationed as a Marine. But they both played soccer growing up. My dad at Dixon, my mom at Jacksonville, actually under Coach Miller.
Oh, really?
So,
all right.
For a while. My mom, she's a little bit different than me. She's more of a hothead. She likes to get into it. I'm sure Coach Miller agrees. But they kind of fostered that like soccer love for me. I started playing competitive soccer at Jazza when I was like 12 years old. There's at the time it was called Select, like travel, and I played up like 2 or 3 years. And then I knew I wanted to play in college, and at the time Jazza was not big enough to foster like a Division I career path. So I kind of went out on a limb and I went to Wilmington, ECNL, which is like an hour drive from here.
Yeah. Which is a commitment.
It is a commitment.
Yeah.
My parents and I both had to commit to, but I think I went my freshman year of high school, and since then just ECNL like took off, and like it's a huge time commitment, but it's the reason where I am today because it's huge.
That's awesome.
And then you can see what it's done for the community. Like me going to Wilmington has allowed Jazz and Wilmington to integrate, so now kids don't have to travel, which is awesome. That's
great. High school, valedictorian. So I'm going to create a long laundry list here. Valedictorian, class president for 4 years, a state champion. How did you learn to balance that level of academics and athletic demand so early? And well, I got a pretty good idea. Your mom's a teacher.
Yes.
Yeah, we were talking about that, but how did you learn to balance that?
I think being the oldest.
Okay.
So I have 2 siblings, Nixon and Riley. My sister's also committed to play soccer at UNC Wilmington.
Okay.
She's a senior, and my brother's also a senior. So I think being the oldest of 3, I think it makes you have to be organized.
Yeah.
And with just a 2-year age gap, I feel like I played a big part in like helping them grow up and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So being able to, I guess, be the responsible one so they could cause the chaos and let my parents breathe probably helped me, like when it comes to like academic and like a physical aspect balance.
Well, being the responsible one, I think also probably was a good segue with you going to the Naval Academy.
Yeah, for sure.
As well. So on the field, coaches have described you as the center of the team, not just tactically, but mentally. So how do you define leadership, especially playing that position of midfielder?
I feel like for me, leadership has never been about being the loudest or being someone who makes a scene in a room, who like can really like take charge. It's more of leading by example. Like I know I don't have a loud personality. I never have, probably never will. But I know I don't need that.
Yeah.
Like being able to carry the energy yourself, and if you yourself are putting the effort in, working hard yourself, it's going to rub off on others without you even having to say a word.
And that probably, I'm going off script, it took 2 minutes. You probably got a lot of that too from, and whether you know it or not, your younger brother and sister watched you and mimicked you and saw how you acted, I'm sure. And you were the role model for them. So, so that's awesome. So 2024, big year. Jacksonville wins its first ever state championship in girls soccer on penalty kicks versus South Point. You were all area player of the year that season, and you continue to excel at the club level playing soccer. Yet in I guess newspaper interviews or being interviewed, you talked about feeling uncomfortable with individual recognition. Why is that? Man, I'd be like, yeah, that's me.
No, yeah, it feels like weird, mainly because soccer is such a team sport.
Yeah.
And being in the midfield, you see that. Like, you see that what you're doing in the midfield is affecting your forwards and your defense. Like, you have to track back. You have to run. So, like, that's probably why they said I was, like, the center of the team.
Yeah.
Midfield's the center of the team. But soccer it's so dependent on the girls around you. And I know, like, for senior year of high school, like, I know I did not always play the best. Like, I had some really rough games, and the girls around me, I had to rely on them to carry me. And you have to have so much trust in every single player that they're going to pick you up at your lowest moments. That's why I can't take everything just myself.
So that's a great follow-up. So what did that championship run that year teach you?
Yeah, kind of going back to what I said is relying on the girls around you. I feel like my whole life I've been super hyper independent. Like, I could do it by myself. I don't need your help. Like, yeah, sure, like, your help could be appreciated, but I could do it.
Yeah.
And, like, learning that it's okay
to ask for help.
Ask for help and receive help. And honestly, you're going to be better off. Your plate's going to be less full. You're going to have better quality work. The team's going to be better. Like, learning that has also fostered, like, helped into the Naval Academy.
That's great. So you talked about the NCNL with Wilmington Hammerheads. Mm-hmm. How did that level, high school soccer, really good? Well, let's be honest. Some nights you would play really good teams. Other nights you guys would, what is it, 8-0, 10-0 or something, and by halftime or whatever. The NCNL, good competition.
Yes.
Every match.
Every match.
How did that prepare you for D1 soccer?
So I was fortunate enough, like, Jacksonville High School, my senior year, junior year, had almost every single player was ECNL. Whether that's my sister and I played together all 4 years, almost. Like, my sister's age group, my age group, the age group younger, got lucky. Every single girl is ECNL on Jacksonville. However, like, club level, when it comes to playing your opponents, those girls are fast. They're fast and they're big, and they all want it. Yeah. But for me, what I've come to realize now, playing a year or two of college soccer, is fitness is huge at the college game. You could be the most technical player on the field, but that will not matter if you're being outrun or outbodied. And ECNL offers that, and high school soccer just does not. Like, that level of speed of play is completely different. And these girls are huge. They're, like, at least for me, I'm 5'2", so, like, these girls are massive. So 2 questions have come from this, and they're, again, off topic. So you actually got to play with your sister. Yes. She was, I guess, maybe a freshman, sophomore when you played. Talk to me about that experience. What was that? I mean, was that cool? Were you big sister on the field and off the field, or what? Tell me about that relationship. My sister and I are very different. We both play the midfield. She plays the 6, which is like a defensive mid, and I play more of an 8 or a 10, so attacking center mid. So we both played right next to each other the whole time, and it took everything in me not to just yell at her like how I yell at her in the house. We're very different. I'm very, like, I want to say, like, locked in, like, to the point. I want to say strict, very disciplined. Yeah. And Riley's like, yay, like, whatever. Yeah. But is she the youngest? She's the youngest. Yeah. Well, she's very technical. She's an amazing player, but her mentality is just so different. Yeah. But it took me a while. Now I think, now that I'm out of the house, saying this is, you need that. Like, you can't have players like who are, like, always like 100 miles per hour, like you got to have somebody that kind the yin and yang, the kind of that makes the mood light a little bit all the time, right? At the time, I would be, you didn't understand it then, did you? Yeah. And I think it's because I was her sister. Like, to everyone else, she's probably like, oh, like, oh, this is Riley, like, she's so much fun. But to me, I was like, shut up, like, she's so annoying, like, on the field. Or, like, I remember we were playing, like, a game, like, and you mentioned it, like, we were winning, like, 0. Yeah. It was an easier game, and she was laughing and making jokes, and I still was like, you can't make jokes on the field, like, way too serious. So looking back, I appreciate it. But so
So it's
different,
vastly different. Yeah.
but she's very talented. So working with her, even though we argue, there was something about our chemistry on the field that was well.
That's
Who touched soccer.
yeah.
Couldn't do it with anyone else.
That's great. So something you said about the fitness at the D1 level. I've talked to a couple of lacrosse players in doing this homegrown series, and they had mentioned. I talked to a young man that's from Northside High School that's playing lacrosse at Coker University down in South Carolina. He mentioned yesterday that he plays. I know it's a different sport, but he plays in the midfield. He might run. I guess they maybe have trackers on you or something. He may run anywhere from 7 to 8 miles during a game. Do you know how much you run during a game? Have they tracked anything like that?
We don't wear trackers.
Yeah.
But statistically, it's like
Is it
6 to 7.
Okay. Yeah. I might do that in a year. So just letting you know that. So anyway, so growing up in a military community, how meaningful is it now to know that you'll eventually serve our country?
So like I said, both my parents aren't directly military. However, my grandpa was at both my mom's and my dad's side. So at first, when I was received an offer from the Naval Academy, everyone in the community was kind of like, yes, like do it. Just because everyone knows a Naval Academy grad and knows they come from hard work and effort. And I think that's what sold it. And then since being at the academy, it's meant so much more. Military service, I don't think I realized how much of a big deal and how much of a, I guess, passion I'll have for it once I commission. I feel like this community is the reason I committed to Navy after everyone was kind of hyping it up to me. And it's everything that they said it was going to be.
Well, again, your humility, because it is a big deal. Balancing heavy academics, military obligation, and starting matches at center midfield. What's been the biggest adjustment for you so far in college or at the academy? I'm not going to say college. I'm going to say at the academy.
So like you said earlier, I was valedictorian, so academics was never, ever an issue for me.
Yeah.
It was always so easy, like barely put any effort in, like felt super good. That is what hit me like a bus at the academy. Having
to study, having to really crack the books, yeah.
The academy, I've come to learn, everyone's a genius. Every single person is a genius. And the first time, like I felt like I was the stupidest person in the room. And I was just like, wow, it's a whole nother ball game. Now granted, like I'm doing fine. Like it's just like completely different effort levels. And I don't know if I was ready for that at first. But in response to that, I don't know, you get a lot of help.
Yeah.
If you're struggling, there is someone who's going to help you. I remember my first chemistry exam, I got back and I failed it. Like I failed it miserably. And at the academy, you're organized in 36 companies. I was in 24 at this time. After your freshman year, your plebe year, you move to another company. I'm in 8 now. So I was in 24th company, and I failed this exam. And I went to all my plebe friends, because when you're a freshman, you can't talk to upper class.
Yeah.
So I went to all my plebe friends, and I was like, I failed this. They laughed at me. They laughed at me for a solid like 5 minutes, and then they're like, okay, what can we do? What can we do? So then I started getting tutored by every single, like one of them individually every single night.
Wow.
Pass the class. So they're going to laugh at you. They're going to make fun of you. They're not going to let you ever forget you bombing that exam. They're going to help you.
You know, and that's so interesting. That bond that you guys create, obviously, you know, you have to have that bond in case, you know, you go to war or you know, but that bond, it starts your first year.
Starts your plebe year summer.
In classes and that connection.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
The summer is where you kind of build that bond when you're getting, it's like a month, 2 months prior, you're just getting like beat down. Like, hey, like
I know what you're saying. They break you down. They break you down mentally a lot.
You'll carry those memories with you for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Outside academics, though, physically, so like plebe year, there's mandatory morning workouts. Luckily, in season for soccer, I don't have to go.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I did go when I didn't have a soccer workout just because I love my friends, and that's where you show up, and that's how you build those bonds. But if you want to do something more physically demanding outside of soccer, it takes a lot to balance that. So there's something like there's screenings that could go on.
Yeah.
If you want to train for a specific screener, it's kind of hard to train for that while also training for soccer. So finding that balance depending on what you want to do, it's kind of hard sometimes, especially with academics and like parades and formations and like all
all
of
the
this
stuff that goes along
Yeah.
with being. So let me ask a question. So way back when I was in high school, I was being recruited for football, not by the Naval Academy, but by the Citadel. And I had a buddy that was down there, and he was in his first year. And he'd come home for the holidays or something, and we were just having a conversation. I knew the part about you as a plebe, you couldn't talk to upperclassmen unless they spoke to you first, right? Yeah. So at the Citadel, he was telling me that he couldn't walk on the sidewalks. He had to walk in the gutter. Is that or the not on the sidewalk, but like just off of the sidewalk? Is that how it is
Yeah,
as
it's
well?
kind of the same. Like so Bancroft is our dormitory. It's the
Okay.
largest dormitory in the United States. Everything's connected. You get to it's like first wing, which is like all the way in the corner of the eighth wing. So everything's connected.
Okay.
You can only walk on the outside. Well, outside of the staircases, and you square your corners.
Yeah.
Sir, go maybe, ma'am, or baby. Like you say that every single time you square it. Or when you're walking through the hallway, you have to walk in the middle of every P-way.
Okay.
So, just and then there's like curved pathways outside on Stribling, which is like how you get to all the academic buildings. You have to walk on the straight pathways. You're not allowed to walk on the curved ones.
Okay.
Which is sounds silly, but it does make a lot of a time difference in class.
Yeah. Okay. So you've expressed interest in exploring the world and studying geoscience or oceanography. And I think in the stuff you sent me, you recently declared your major as oceanography, right?
Yeah, so actually we declare our major after freshman year.
Okay.
I originally declared my major as English.
Okay.
Because chemistry, everyone graduates with the Bachelor of Science, no matter what. So even if you major in a history, English, or like a humanities, you're going to graduate with the Bachelor of Science because you're mandated to take chemistry, physics, thermo, double E, cyber, like all these science classes. So I was like, okay, I'll just do English because chemistry kicked my butt. And I was like, you know what, let me just choose like humanity classes. And then this semester, physics. You have to take physics, even if you're an English major. Kicked my butt, and I was like, okay, might as well just major in something STEM related. So I switched my major to oceanography, and it kind of goes back on track with what I originally wanted to do.
So obviously you're going to have your commitment to the Navy or to the Marine Corps, but where do your long-term dreams take you beyond that?
Right now, I feel like I really can't say. As of now, I want to commission as a Marine Corps officer. It's unclear if I want to serve 20, 10, like,
I don't
know. But with an oceanography degree specifically, I could see myself doing something in geosciences.
Yeah.
Like go travel the world. I want to travel the world. And I think oceanography, like a geology route, would be the best way for letting me do that.
That's
especially
awesome.
with like military service in the background.
Yeah.
Now, I could get in and serve 30. Or, like serve my 5 that I have to. So that's so unclear right now.
Listen, I'm 57. I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do when I grow up. And when you get done with this, Google, you're way too young to remember, but Google Jacques Cousteau.
Okay.
He was a famous oceanographer. Actually so famous, he used to have a television show on, I can't remember what night, maybe Sunday night, Saturday night, where he would travel all over the world and just exploring on ships and submarines and stuff like that. Really cool.
That's what I want to do. That'd be cool.
Yeah, really cool. So your mom and dad might know. They're still a little young, but Jacques Cousteau. So looking back at your younger self, the freshman, the club player, the student juggling everything, really not the books in high school because you had that one licked, but what advice would you give yourself now looking back at your younger self? Anything you would change?
I would hate to say this, but I feel like I did everything almost perfect.
Like you were supposed to
Like
do.
I was supposed to. Like I had all the academics squared. I had all the soccer squared off. Like I had everything. Well, actually, no. I feel like I did too much.
Yeah.
I pushed myself way too hard, especially when it comes to soccer. Me and my good friend Landon, we were out at the soccer fields every single morning of summer break at 7 a.m. every single morning. That's so unnecessary.
Yeah.
Like looking back, like we could have done it at 10. We could have done it at 1. Like there's so many other options. And like during the summers, me and Landon, we would train at 7 and then we push Italian ice cars on the beach, like down in Topsail.
Oh, nice.
We would work and then go home and we would probably both go to the gym. way too much, and I feel like didn't.
You
let
could
myself
have been a little
enjoy
more
it.
flexible.
I could have been more flexible, but I was so strict in this program, which transferred well to Navy. So,
Yeah.
I mean, everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
But looking back, maybe I could have
Maybe had a little more fun.
have a little bit more fun.
Yeah.
But I think everything happens for a reason, and I think I was that way because it carried so smoothly into the rigid structure at the Naval Academy. And I think if I wasn't like that in high school, I would have had a harder transition. So maybe, yeah, I could have changed that, but ultimately I think everything.
Well, speaking from personal experience, if you had not been that way, the Naval Academy would have been tough. Again, I was recruited by the Citadel, went down there, and that structure, I was not like that in high school, was not structured. Had a little bit of longer hair and was going to have to cut my hair and all that stuff. And I was like, I told the coach, I'm like, yeah, no, thanks, but no thanks. So it worked out, and you know that. So last question before rapid fire. What do you hope young athletes in Jacksonville understand about what's possible for them when they see your journey?
I would say, like, don't not do something just because it's what you don't want right now. Like, if you look at the Naval Academy, if any kid looked at the Naval Academy and they looked at what I had to do in a day, that's like every morning at 7, you have formation. Then you have formation again. And then you have parades. And it's like high school, by the way. You have 4 classes in the morning. You have lunch formation. You have 2 classes. And then you go to soccer practice. And then you have lift. And then I'm back in my room by 8. And then you start your homework. And then you probably have 2 tests tomorrow. So if you want to have fun right now, the Academy's not the place for you.
And you probably have no Xbox in your room, do you?
No, but I mean,
a lot of kids in college have Xboxes, and and they take time to play it.
I mean, some of my friends, you'd be surprised.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
You make your best friends at the Naval Academy, and I know I've made mine. But for people here, if you want to do something amazing, you're gonna have to suffer a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people, they don't like delayed gratification enough. I think that's something that people need to experience a little bit more.
Yeah.
Do it. It's scary, but it's gonna pay off. And
Yeah.
through this terrible, day in, day out grind, I've made my closest relationships that I've ever made in my whole entire life.
That'll last forever.
Forever.
Yeah.
All 31 of us, and now 8th company. I love them all. The girls on the soccer team, they are my family. They're like your escape. Your freshman year, it's so much going on in the hall, so back in your company spaces, that your soccer team is your escape. Those girls will make you feel so loved. Karen, she's our head coach, will make you feel so loved and know that you're so supported and that they have every option, everything to help you. They never make you feel shamed for sucking at chemistry or sucking at physics.
Yeah.
If anything, Rob might make fun of you, but out of love and care.
Yeah.
I don't know. You find your people, and I wouldn't change anything.
And I think you got a unique experience because you do have, if something's going on, in fact, one of the other folks that I interviewed mentioned this, something's going on the soccer team or something like that, you have that escape back to your company and kind of can hang out with them and have friends there. And if something's going on with your company, you kind of have that escape, to the soccer team.
And
so that's always a good thing.
About any sports team, but Navy women's soccer in general, is everyone is so ready to help you. Alumni in general, I could never know an alumni and go and be like, hey, I was on Navy women's soccer, and they're like, okay, what do you need? That community that is built through the academy and sports relationships, I don't think you can find anywhere else.
That's amazing. All right, here we go. Rapid fire, and then one last question. All right, so let's get to rapid fire. First thing that comes to your mind. Favorite part about training growing up in Jacksonville, and you mentioned a little bit of it, but favorite part of training for soccer in Jacksonville growing up?
Coaches. I really like my first coach, Coach Drew.
Drew Perry.
Drew Perry.
Okay.
I think he's been a foundation of my soccer skill from the very beginning. And on top of that, I love his daughter, Mia.
Yeah.
One of my best friends growing up. So
awesome.
His fundamentals.
Awesome. One teacher, can't be your mom, at Jacksonville High School who made a lasting impact.
Kelly Hemler. Now, I don't know her last name now, but Kelly Himmler. She was my IB bio teacher.
Okay.
And she's a big reason why I want to go into STEM.
Nice. Tougher grind, the NCNL season and everything that you've got going on with that, or plebe year at the Naval Academy? Tougher grind.
Plebe year is way harder.
Is it?
It's so much harder. Yeah, they're so much harder.
Okay. Favorite pregame song or artist? Were you a music listener or were you more focused?
I'm a music listener.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, this is a hard one. I don't know.
Is there a team? Is there the team listen to anything?
Yes, the team listens to a lot of house music.
Okay, that's not you.
Not exactly house. They actually listen to house music and then like country, and I cannot listen to this mix before games. So I always have my AirPods in.
Okay.
But I like a lot of like Pink Floyd.
Okay.
Like music.
Okay, cool. You got good music taste. I like that. One word teammates would use to describe you.
Hardworking.
Okay. Next question. Best soccer memory from high school?
Winning the state championship with my sister.
That's awesome. If soccer wasn't your sport, what would you compete in? Any other
I've
sport?
always said this. I feel like gymnastics would be so cool. Like,
What, like the vault or the?
I don't know. There's like any flips.
Okay.
I feel like people have always said this. Like I'm very short. I have like the compressed like gymnastics build. I feel like I could do it. It'd be so, and also just like randomly do a backflip.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
That'd be cool.
That'd be cool.
Dream place in the world you want to explore someday?
Well, I was gonna say Greece, but the soccer team, we're going to Greece.
Oh, nice.
Up there in spring. So
Nice.
Playing 2 matches.
All right. One thing people would be surprised to know about you. What is one thing that they may not know about you?
I collect rocks from every showcase, every place I've ever been. Like,
Nice.
This past summer, I went to the Talkeetna Mountains and a 28-day backpacking trip.
Yeah.
With the Naval Academy, and I have a rock from the Talkeetnas.
Nice.
Solid.
So a rock collector.
Mm-hmm.
That is awesome. Final question, not rapid fire. When you hear the words homegrown, what do they mean to you, knowing your journey started right here in Jacksonville?
I think it's remembering where you're from, remembering the community that helped build you up, remembering your family and your friends, just having a sense of pride in where you came from. Because at being up north, nothing's like the South.
Yeah.
The people are nothing like down here. The charm, the kindness that people bring, not just like in Jacksonville, because it's kind of more of a melting pot in the South, but especially in the eastern North Carolina, just like having pride and Southern charm.
Nothing like it, is it?
No, nothing like it.
MacKenzie, thank you. This was wonderful. Thank you so much. So MacKenzie Morrow's journey is about more than wins, grades, or accolades. It's about work ethic, humility, and choosing a path that challenges you to serve something bigger than yourself, all while staying grounded in where you come from. From local fields in Jacksonville to the Naval Academy in Annapolis, she carries her roots with her every step of the way. That's what Homegrown is all about. I'm Steve Goodson, and this has been Homegrown, real athletes, real stories, and big dreams. No matter how far you go, home is always a part of who you are. Thanks for joining us. Support for Homegrown is provided by Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning, proudly serving Eastern North Carolina since 1967.